May the 10th. Does anybody remember Bob, Carol, Ted and Alice, that movie? I think it was Dionne Warwick at the end of it singing, "What the world needs now is love, sweet love." Yeah, you remember that? So do I. Well, what the world needs now is bigger cojones. I'm reading this now. What the world needs now is bigger cojones. Okay. On the 3rd of November 1950, the General Assembly passed Resolution 377, capital A, brackets 5, Uniting for Peace. I could quote it all, but it takes too long. Basically, it is a resolution that was passed because of a worry that the fact that the 5 permanent members of the Security Council all have the power to veto any Security Council resolution is a pain in the arse. So, Uniting for Peace says, if there's something really, really bad happening in the world that threatens world peace, and one of the permanent members is using its power of veto to stop the United Nations putting a stop to the really bad thing, the peoples of the United Nations have the power to circumvent the Security Council by evoking Uniting for Peace and convening an emergency session of the General Assembly to do something about the really, really bad thing. Okay, well, something really, really bad is happening in the world. Since October 2023, the rogue state of Israel has been openly and blatantly committing ethnic cleansing and genocide in Gaza, and the United States of America has been using its power of veto to support that ethnic cleansing and genocide. Specifically, in response to this, on the 18th of April last year, when the USA vetoed a Security Council resolution to recommend full UN membership for the state of Palestine, it exactly created the scenario described in Uniting for Peace 377, capital A, brackets 5. Well, the General Assembly quite rightly responded, and on September the 18th last year, in an emergency session, the United Nations General Assembly overwhelmingly passed a resolution demanding an immediate end to Israel's illegal occupation of Palestine lands, with 124 nations voting in favour, 14 against, and 43 abstentions. That is a huge majority, by the way. This resolution, ES 10/24, stemmed from an advisory opinion by the International Court of Justice that found Israel's occupation of Palestinian territory to be illegal. That should have been an end of it, but it wasn't. What has happened in response? Nothing. Not only has the rogue state of Israel ignored the General Assembly Resolution ES 10/24 for the 7 months since it was adopted, but just a few weeks ago, Benjamin Netanyahu and Donald Trump sat in the Oval Office in the White House in Washington, D.C., and, in contravention of all existing international law, including the Geneva Conventions and the Universal Declaration of Human Rights, they announced on live TV their intention to ethnically cleanse Gaza in order to build a seaside resort. A smug-looking Donald Trump, sitting alongside his guest, the accused war criminal Bibi Netanyahu, described Gaza as a nice piece of prime real estate. President Trump leaned forward in his chair and suggested a choice be offered to the people of Gaza. Either you pack your bags for the umpteenth time and voluntarily leave Gaza, or we will kill you. Your choice. He sort of shrugged, his head on one side, making that little O shape with his lips. You know the one. Is this what passes for diplomacy these days? Acquiesce to our plans to steal your land and build a golf course, or we will kill you. As anyone who's bothered to study any of Palestine's history knows, yes, Piers, pay attention. This story did not start on the 7th of October 2023. No, it started long before that. Armed Zionist gangs, and I can name three of them, Irgun, Stern, Haganah, those gangs of terrorists, started campaigns of ethnic cleansing and murder in Palestine in the immediate wake of World War II. These campaigns, culminating in a series of massacres and the expulsion of 700,000 indigenous people, occasioned the violent creation of the Zionist State of Israel in May 1948. Harry Truman, the then President of the United States, not a great scholar, I'm told, was all for it. His personal endorsement of the new state was meteoric in the speed of its delivery. It did not go unnoticed at the time. And this is a story related, by the way, by JFK and through Gore Vidal. It did not go unnoticed at the time that Harry Truman had recently received a $2 million campaign contribution from a wealthy Zionist. Does any of this sound familiar? So there it was, a fait accompli with endorsement of the USA, but the new state needed to keep its genocidal ambitions under its hat, a secret from the rest of the world. So as a matter of policy, right from the start, it lied through its teeth. We are going to be a democracy, it said. It boasted, in fact. We want to live in peace with all the local people. Of course, it was a bare-faced lie, a lie they've been repeating for 75 years. Generation after generation, until on the 7th of October 2023, in the refugee camp called Gaza, some of the victims of 75 years of ethnic cleansing and creeping genocide, in an act of armed resistance, broke down the prison walls and attacked some of the prison guards. That's what occupied people do. It is normal. It is inevitable. It is understandable. And it is also 100% legal. What is 100% illegal is the occupation of Palestinian land and laying siege and starving people. The occupying ethno-supremacist state of Israel and its main supporter, the United States of America, were not best pleased by this act of resistance. So they ripped off their democratic/peacenik masks and embarked on the wholesale genocidal slaughter of the remaining captive inmates of Gaza. Men, women, children, infants, doctors, nurses, journalists, artists, everyone. We have all borne witness to the horror for the last year and a half. So, the disgusting charade with Donald Trump and Bibi Netanyahu in the Oval Office a few weeks back was an open, public, masks-off admission of the absolute, total, moral degradation of Western civilization. Now then, people will bring this up, so will I. Israeli civilians were killed during the prison break on October 7th. Some of them at that music festival that Bono's always going on about. Those deaths were a war crime. Hamas, can I say Hamas? Hamas accepts that. Hamas has stated that it was not their intention to kill civilians. Israeli civilians were also killed by Israel on that day. The Hannibal Directive. Piers, did you read about that when you were looking up Zaka after I told you? Anyway, Israel on that day. That was a war crime too. We, the people, would like to see an independent inquiry into October the 7th to find out what really happened and who really killed who. Israel, of course, will not allow any such investigation. All right. Since then, Israel, with the absolute backing of the USA as usual and others, has been systematically pursuing its genocidal policy, murdering many tens of thousands of civilians in Gaza, particularly innocent children, often blowing them to bits with 2,000-pound bombs, the bits to be collected in plastic bags by relatives or aid workers. A war crime out of all proportion. Genocide. So what to do? Well, that depends on who you are. If you're already part of the global resistance to this disgusting charade, keep resisting. I just watched a movie on how Palestine Action in the UK has driven out Elbit Systems, an Israeli arms manufacturer. Good for you, Palestine Action. The rest of us must keep raising our voices. And we will. We must keep occupying campuses in every university in the country, all over. By the way, 2 days ago, they went back to Colombia and occupied the library, and 75 of them were arrested in their cafes and taken away by the fascist police. Well done. Whoever that was in Colombia, we're with you. All over the world. Where was I? Particularly Germany and the UK. What is wrong with these countries? Criminalising peaceful protest against a genocide? What? Okay, back to Uniting for Peace. Excuse me. We must keep up our demands for adherence to international law. What Trump and Netanyahu and Starmer and Schultz and the rest are suggesting is not just illegal, it is criminally insane. We, in this resistance movement, have a moral obligation to keep raising our voices for as long as it takes. We must take to the streets in every city, every town, every village, in every land all over the world. We must reach out to thank the people of Yemen, the Houthis, for their heroic stand against this genocide. And over there, in the rogue state of Israel, on the other side of the illegal wall, we stand in solidarity with the resistance. People like our friends Gideon Levy and Diana Bhutto and Nouret Peled, or organisations like B'Tselem or Breaking the Silence. We salute you give us hope. If, on the other hand, you are part of the majority in Israel, who apparently have been supporting the illegal occupation of Palestinian land all these years, all the ethnic cleansing and genocide, hang your head in shame. Beg humanity's forgiveness. Unlearn the lie that you are somehow better than the rest of us. You're not. Truth and reconciliation can be a great healer, but first you need to wake up from your ethno-supremacist nightmare. For our part, we will not be silenced. This choir is a global choir, and we are not going anywhere. Our voices joined together in harmony can and will make a mighty roar. Donald Trump and Bibi Netanyahu are almost certainly lost causes, but out here in the streets, the rest of us are just getting started. And it is my belief, that this choir, armed as it is with love and truth, that this choir, with all our voices joined in harmony, can turn this ship around. Let's do it. United for peace and sanity, with love and truth in our hearts. Let's turn